Call this meeting of the Monticello City Council to order. Would you please rise and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and stay standing as Rodney Burris leads us in prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, once again, we come to you humbly. We ask for wisdom, we ask for clarity, we ask for vision for this town. We ask you to be with us today. We love you and praise your name. Amen?
Amen.
Roll call, please, Jill.
Ms. Muse? Here. Ms. Stevens? Here. Ms. Harlan? Here. Mr. Reed? Ms. Boat? Here. Mr. Brock?
Here.
Mr. Burris?
Here.
Mr. Kuhn?
Is he on?
Maura, is he on? Okay. Okay, thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Public participation. In-person participation. This is an opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. Those wishing to speak are required to sign in prior to commencement of the meeting and must address the council from the seat and table provided. The public comments must comply with ordinance 2014-02 and be limited to 5 minutes or less. This evening we have Dick Montgomery. You just want to scoot up, Dick. Thank you.
Number one, thank you, Mayor and council members, for allowing me to speak. I'm just here to, I'll be short and sweet. I have keen interest in the new renovations at Burke Park. And I'm here to advocate and number one, say thank you to the Farnsworth Group and the Monticello and the city of Monticello for the current design I've looked at. I think it's awesome. I think it's a wonderful representation of options for accessibility. And I don't mean just wheelchair, I mean just accessibility across the board for all kinds of people, all citizens of Monticello. I think it's when we redid the pool a number of years ago, it was a huge step. And when I see that they're going to do the things, I just love the idea of taking a low spot that's always, collected water and, talk about taking lemons and making lemonade and turning that into a rain garden. That's just tremendous ideas about simplistic things. Having a wooden walkway going across for all patrons. Whether it's sidewalks or whatever the type of walkways are, the 6 foot wide walkways around and as well as the 8 foot walkways all the way around the park. I just think it's a great statement. I'm very appreciative and thank you. I would encourage the passage of this ordinance 2021-49. And it's also, of course, an incredible opportunity. I mean, how many towns the size of ours have a Medal of Honor winner like that? I mean, it's pretty incredible. So it's a wonderful way to do that. And how many towns have a place where Abraham Lincoln stood and gave a speech? So, and this is right in the center of town. So now and I swam a lot there this summer. I was recently retired, so I've been to the park a lot. I always did as a kid anyway. But I'm not sure what you call them, the mushrooms or the umbrellas in the kids area. But as I think about it, I've always thought they really added such character as you go around the park. And if you ever been there in the early evening before they shut down shop and the sun's starting to set, or at least it's getting, towards dusk. I just think with this and all these walkways and the rain garden and the bridge, it's going to be a little oasis in the middle of the city of Monticello, right in the middle. So thank you. I believe it's going to allow access for all the citizens of Monticello. That's it.
Thank you very much, Dick. Appreciate your comments. Participation. This is an opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. The public comments must comply with ordinance 2014-02 and be limited to 5 minutes or less. At this time, members of the public are able to attend public meetings by web conference and to submit public comment by email, voicemail, or through web conference. Is there anyone this evening, Maura?
There is not.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to consent agenda. The approval of documents and action items is listed. Claims report, claims dated August 24, 2021 through September 13, 2021. Meeting minutes, City Council meeting minutes, August 23rd, 2021. Treasurer's report, July 2021. Permit report, August 2021. Fire report, August 2021. And police report, August 2021. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any comments or questions before we proceed to a vote? Hearing or seeing none, may I have a roll call, please, Jill?
Ms. Muse,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens, Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Ms. Vogt,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to the mayor's report, upcoming events. This weekend brings the Sage City Invitational on Saturday at Monticello High School, followed by the final Monticello Movie Nights presentation of Onward in downtown Monticello at sunset. The second annual Woofstock event is rescheduled for next Tuesday, September 21st, from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Robert Millick Dog Park. The Railway Museum is hosting Railroad Days this Saturday and Sunday, and the Donut Train September 25th and October 2nd. Marissa's Purpose Walk, Run, or Bike will be Saturday, September 25th at Allerton Park. Some business news. There are 58 local businesses hiring to fill over 150 positions in the Monticello area. Visit the city's online job board for a current listing. 2 of our downtown businesses are moving into new spaces. KDK by Design is moving to 101 North Market Street, and Tamed Maine Barbershop will soon be moving to West Washington Street to a larger space. And congratulations to the local businesses who placed in the News Gazette's People's Choice Awards, including Yoga Off the Square, Prairie Fireglass, Hartfield Book Company, Monticello Bowl and Lounge, Allerton Park, Monticello Railway Museum, Rick Ridings, Just Be a Kai, Pies by Ingy, Dr. Mark Hall's Orthodontics, Pratt Home Improvements, Loman Ray Insurance, and Picasso and Sons Painting. Moving on to new business now. Ordinance 2021-49, an ordinance adopting the Robert C. Burke Memorial Park Master Plan. Terry?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a process that we began earlier this year with approving budgetary funds to do this plan. I appreciate the council doing that. This is the next step. We were presented with the Burke Park plan at the last city council meeting by Farnsworth Group. Emily Jenkins was at that meeting, and she's joining us here tonight. That's one of your number one fan over there. I would echo the gentleman's compliments on the plan. It's a wonderful plan. One thing I do want to kind of iterate to the group tonight is passage of this plan, approving the master plan, does not bind the city to funds at any point in time. A lot of times when you submit for grants of any sort, they're going to want to see the city council actually voted on something as a group. So this is an actual formal adoption of that plan. We're not married to that plan, but that's kind of the plan that we see ourselves going in the future. So it is recommended the city council discuss and approve ordinance 2021-49 as presented.
Are there any comments or questions? Are there any comments or questions? Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-49 and ordinance adopting the Robert C. Burke Memorial Park Master Plan?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions now? Not hearing or seeing any. Roll call, please, Jill.
Ms. Muse,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Ms. Vogt,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you very much. Ordinance 2021-50, an ordinance authorizing the lease of property 315 East Center Street, Monticello, Illinois, 61856. Terry?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This property, you should all be familiar with, 315 Center Street. The city purchased it in 2014. anticipating the firehouse, police station growing as well as with the Kirby ambulance service that has not happened. The hospital obviously moved outside the north side of town. 2019, the council approved leasing that property to a small hand, Pike County Cares Inc. That was for a 2-year lease. So this lease and this agreement and this ordinance is the exact same lease. It's for a 2-year period, the exact same terms, so on and so forth. When I spoke with Christina San Antonio, they are extremely grateful and use the property to its fullest. And they're very appreciative of the city council leasing it to them for that first 2-year term and are very interested in an additional 2-year term. Some of the things that the Pike County Cares does, it's a nonprofit diaper, infant needs, and food pantry serving Pike County, Illinois. They provide approximately 1,500 to 2,000 diapers per week to at-risk infants. Their food pantry opened in February 2019 and has served well over 1,000 individuals. Approximately half of that number are children. It's a great cause and they use the property to its fullest. So it is recommended the city council discuss and approve ordinance 2021-50 as presented.
Any comments or questions of Terry? Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-50, an ordinance authorizing the lease of property 315 East Center Street, Monticello, Illinois 61856?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Jill?
Ms. Muse?
Yes.
Ms. Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Harlan?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to resolution 2021-51, a resolution appointing Kelly's Accounting Service to the office of City Treasurer. Terry?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The existing city treasurer, Brian McDowell, needed to resign from the city treasurer position due to work requirements. So Mayor Stoner and Warren Metcalf, the HR finance director, reached out to the city attorneys and obviously the Kelly's Accounting. Kelly's Accounting is interested in fulfilling the needs of the city treasurer. It is recommended the city council discuss and approve resolution 2021-51, appointing Kelly's Accounting as the city treasurer.
Okay, any comments?
Anything to add, Mr. Mayor?
No, we just find it more and more difficult to find people that are qualified to do this job. And if, as long as it's not an elected position anymore, we've thought that we should probably appoint someone who we know will be able to do the job and we can always rely on being there. So I think it's probably a move in the right direction for us. So if you have questions, please ask. It's not going to cost us any more to use this service than it does the service that we have right now with our present treasurer. Okay. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2021, a resolution appointing Kelly Accounting Service to the office of City Treasurer?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing or seeing none, Jill?
Ms. Muse?
Yes.
Ms. Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Harlan?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
And Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Alderperson's reports. Ashley,
Nothing at this time, Mr.
thank you. Tammy? Pam?
Nothing from me, thanks.
Rodney?
It's great to have Wendell back in the booth 2 Fridays ago.
I guess so.
I thought it was good.
Are you announcing this week
I
at the marching thing?
No, I have a class this weekend, so
Okay.
I had to turn her down,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's too bad.
I asked her to keep asking, but
Right.
not this week.
That's all I had.
That's all you had. Wendell, do you have anything?
Only that if you get the opportunity, any of you, please take a short trip up North State Street and look at the new subdivision going in up there. And I know Terry and some of the guys have. I really never realized until they started laying that street out, what a tremendous amount of fall there is from State Street to the back of that property. So I hope that they put in a huge storm drain because they're going to have a ton of water going to the west side of that. I stopped up there on the hill the other day and looked when they were working that ground. Wow, it's a huge amount of fall going to the west. So hopefully it can handle water. They're going to have a lot to handle, I'm afraid. Great, looks great though. They're getting it started. They got the clay in to put the base down, so they're working on it. Yep. That's all I got.
Mary,
Nothing tonight.
tonight, thank you. Police chief's report, John?
Yes. Introduce you, some of you met them before, our two new officers, Kevin Burks was right here, and Dwayne Norman is over there. They are a great addition to our department, and we're now at full staff. Once they get on their own, we'll be at full staff. We're at full staff, but we're not there.
Gotcha.
But we will be in November. That's our deadline for them, is to be on their own in November. So thank you for coming tonight, and stick around, make sure you get met everybody. Number two, you guys have seen. It was an honor to help the fire department out on Saturday, be there as they did their 9/11 commemoration. I'll let Chief Fripp can talk about that. But it gave me the opportunity to reflect on what has happened over the last 20 years and what happened that day. I remember where I was. And I think that was the purpose of the whole thing, is to try to remind us of what happened. But like I said, other than that, that's it.
Thanks, John. Any questions of Chief?
Oh, wait, I do have one more thing. Just remember.
Go ahead.
It happened today. The voucher was sent from the state, so they will be paying us our money back for our cameras, for cars and body cameras. So
Super, great.
everything will be all done, taken care of.
Thank you, very good. Fire chief's report, John?
Mr. Mayor, thank you, Chief Carter, for your help on Saturday. I think if anybody was there, it really turned out well. Beautiful day, everything that we planned came to fruition, and really it was a pretty special ceremony. And in the parades through the different towns in Pine County, it was pretty moving. So there might be some videos out there. I know Steve was out there. It was, probably took some pictures too, didn't you, Steve? And thankful for everybody who was out there and everybody that helped, especially Dan Sheehan, Ellen Lynch from Atwood, and Austin Wiggins from our fire department too. So yeah, it was pretty special day. The fire department ran 34 calls in August. We had 3 weeks of training. First week we did mutual aid training with BMAT. We went out to fire containers and put some fire in there and practice with them going in and out, and communication skills and so forth. The second week was just our department, and we again lit some fires on a burning container, practice different scenarios going in and out. And we have 4 new members, and to get them out there and get them through that type of training is important. The third week we had Carl, the EMT, come out, and we did triage and mass casualty training. They brought up a bunch of dummies, and they kind of labeled them with different injuries, and we had to kind of triage them and put them into black and red and green and so forth. And really interesting training, so it was good to do that. Also in August, we participated in the honors parade with the Project 703. We shoveled water out to Eli Field for the RC show in August, and we installed 3 smoke detectors for our citizens in Monticello. So,
Nice.
kind of a busy one. Yeah. And thank you.
Thank you, John. Anyone have any questions of John Ruppke? Thanks for all you guys do. We really appreciate it. Okay, Terry, your city administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank Chief Ruppke and everybody, because it took a lot to put that event on, and I was honored to attend it. Bagpipes, all the flags, the 13 up front for the military fallen recently in Afghanistan. The trumpet playing taps, and in that context, in that moment, it's pretty moving.
The high school students do that. We had 6 high school students read off the company names of all the companies that were killed in New York, and that was especially get them to do it too. And I think they felt the impact, by being able to be part of that. So it was nice to get them involved.
There's a lot of chiefs and a lot of lieutenants.
Excellent. Then we did the ringing of the bell at the end. I thought that was pretty moving.
Yeah, it was a job well done, Chief Rookie. I thought Dan Sheehan did a wonderful job. And I know it took a lot to put that on, but job well done.
And then Terry sent me a message afterwards thanking us. And I appreciate that, Terry, the comments. It was nice.
Well done.
I'd like to thank Brian McDowell for all his work and efforts. But, life and work happen. And to the mayor's points, it's no more money to spend with the Kelly's Accounting. I think Kelly and Chris Schroeder and those folks have done a good job. Real quick, this Friday, there's going to be the Gary, if you recall, Gary Stamp street dedication, Craft Road, from Market Street east to Hamilton Street. The event will start at noon and should be over by about 1 o'clock. If you can attend, I'm definitely invited to attend. I know Mary Stamp and family are going to be there. So it'll be a pretty neat event this Friday as well. And then real quick for I finished the FY 2022 preliminary budget. I will be meeting with department heads this week and next week. I emailed all of you the committee members and the tentative schedule for the budget discussions, but real quick, Mary Vogt changed a couple of things up. So Mary Vogt and Ashley Muse will do the administration portion. Rodney Burris and Tom Reed will do public safety. Water and wastewater will be Pam Harlan and Wendell Brock. And streets and programs will be Mike Kuhn and Tammy Seeley. So check your emails, the schedule and everything's on there. So I appreciate all your efforts at this time of the year. It's a lot of hard work from everybody at City Hall. Maura Metcalf, the HR Finance Director, obviously is instrumental with the budget preparation, and I appreciate all your work. Maura, as well as the department heads. It takes a lot to put the budget together, and I appreciate the council's efforts in seeing that to fruition. So thank you in advance. That's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have any questions of Terry? Okay. Anyone interested in adjourning, please make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Have a great 2 weeks. I freaked out.